So most people block money, block wealth, block everything that they would love to create and manifest in their life without even knowing it. And usually it's those things that you've been taught that everybody says this is the way to do it. On this video today, I'm going to explain to you what true alignment with abundance looks like, how to be that, how to live in that energy, and the difference it's going to make for your life. I'm going to go through exactly some things that people don't recognize. I'm going to go through the steps. I'm going to go through an exercise at the end that will completely transform your abundance. So let's get started. Hey, if you've ever come across me before, my name is Gavin Weber, and this channel is all about alignment with who you really are, with what's really possible, with overcoming what's been stopping you, and living your highest possibility, living your truth is the way I would say it. And if you're not having the life that you want, if it's not amazing, if you don't feel great, if you don't have high energy, if you know so much more is possible, this is the channel for you because we're going to break through all those limiting beliefs, all the things that's been stopping you, and help you get back on track to what you came to do in this lifetime. All right. So let's get into how to get the abundance you know is possible. I always think it's important when you're diving into something, looking at it from a new angle and becoming aware of something that you need to understand maybe what you're not doing to the best of your ability, maybe even common mistakes you're making, problems you're having with abundance. And the first thing I would want to bring to your attention is scarcity actually resembling something else like ambition or success. And here's what I mean by that. And I have fallen into this trap hook, line, and sinker. And once I realized it, it made a huge difference for me. So, you hear hustle culture out there. You hear work harder. You hear all these things about okay, just keep positive and focus on what you want. But there's a lot of truth to that, but there's the other side that people don't understand, that there's so much scarcity in that thinking. Because it's like, why do I have to work so much harder? Oh, because the working harder is a belief that that will make the difference. And I'm not saying that that can't help, just to look at this from multiple angles. But what's the root belief around that? There is a fear there that gosh, this isn't like who I am. This isn't necessarily possible and only happens if I just work myself and hustle myself to death, so to speak. And then for what? Is that alignment? Is that what you really want? Are you going to feel better when all you've done is work? There is an underlying scarcity, limiting belief mentality there that you have to look at if you think ambition is the way that you align. That's not it. That is not the flow. That is not true abundance. And it's really important to understand that. Also, a common mistake I see is that you ask the wrong question. Most people ask themselves things like, how can I get more money? How can I get what I want? And again, that is showing your mind that you don't have that you're not already that, and that it's missing in your life. And that's kind of what we've been doing our whole lives, is to say, oh, this would be cool if we have that. And then we seek and we never find. And we don't understand the energy behind that. The frequency of that is always chasing, is always having it outside of ourselves, something that only happens to other people. And then no wonder that those things don't come into our lives. We don't realize that. Again, we kind of try to say, oh, I didn't try hard enough. I didn't really put my effort into it. I didn't work hard enough. And that's not it. You're asking the wrong question. A better question to ask is, how do I expand my abundance from a place of flow that's natural and that I'm not having to push against? Anytime you're pushing, you're at some level pushing it away from you. And it's actually oh, resistance. You want to open your arms and, hey, come to me, flow naturally. It's a completely different vibration. It's a completely different frequency. And you will see when you ask yourself different questions, you're going to see your thinking change. You expand into abundance rather than I don't have this. How can I have this come to me just simply and easily and naturally without all the fighting and trying and hustling? to bridge on what I just said. So here's something to really ponder. Most people look at money and abundance as some transactional energy, right? So it's, hey, something to be manipulated, something to get and accumulate, instead of looking at abundance as your inner state of how you're feeling, of what frequency you're operating from, of even how you see the world, what your beliefs are. So, because they look at it as something like they're manipulating, that's all they ever do is try to manipulate it. And it goes back into the first two mistakes I was saying. It's all kinds of effort, working endlessly, chasing, seeking. And it's a transactional energy that they think is going to have some effect that is going to make them happy and feel better and feel safer and feel abundance. And all the while, that manipulation is actually keeping them, is preventing them from that abundance mentality that will allow that alignment and allow everything and more to actually come into their life. Completely different state of mind from abundance to a manipulation of a transactional energy of thinking of money. And that's what this world does, is it tries to pull you in. I've been pulled in by, we all have. There's nothing wrong with stuff. There's nothing wrong with materialism, the houses, the cars, the fancy clothes, the vacations, like love it, wonderful. Yet, are all those things the abundance, or is that abundance the reflection of your inner state? Is that how you live your life? And those things are actually the effect of abundance operating through you. And yes, you can hustle, and yes, you can work your tail off. But a lot of those times, in order to get those things, thinking, okay, oh, that's going to make me complete. That's going to make me whole. Like, that's when I'll be happy. And that's when I'll have really been successful. It's that chasing once again that is making it so it doesn't happen. And if you are, you get, there's a lot of people that get this belief, which then becomes true for them, of like that hard work is I have to become like a slave to myself and a slave to my business. And sometimes, and a lot of times, the money does come, but there's no time for the other things. They don't enjoy the other things. The other things start owning them. And you might be in that trap right now. I've been in that trap. I'm kind of in that trap right now, so to speak, is that with all these things accumulated, there becomes these attachments through bills and through needing to keep up with the Jones and need to keep what you have. And then this fear and scarcity mentality of possibly losing that. So if you start paying attention to these common mistakes, you're going to start realizing how you got here. And if you can start realizing how you got here and catch yourself in the middle of those, let's say, lack of understanding, that lack of awareness, then we can start doing something about it. So that begs the question, how can we shift from those common mistakes and into abundance? And I want you to know, abundance is actually your identity. It's who you really are. You are abundance right now. You're just not feeling that because you don't know that and you don't believe that and you don't live that. And it's not like abundance is not a currency. It's actually what you are. It's not out there. It's not something that, you get. And once you get to a certain level, it is the reflection of that vibrational certainty, of that essence of who you really are. It is within you right now, and it can never be taken from you. But you have to realize it's within you right now. How do you realize it's within you right now? Look around at all the amazing things in your life. We love to focus on what we don't have. I mean, look at what you do have. Abundance is everywhere. And I don't need to know you personally. If you're watching this video and you're on YouTube, you are one of the abundant people on this planet. And you have the ability to awaken yourself. That's why you're watching this video. That's why you know more is possible. Something in you is like, hey, wake up. Hey, realize you've forgotten, right? And I've had to over and over. I mean, for 30 years, I've been on this path of breaking out of the illusion, breaking free from what I thought would make me happy, and understanding that it's all abundance and that anything that I think is not abundance is something I need to shift in my mind to remember once again. So you go not from earning abundance, you go to radiate abundance. You completely embody it. You make it the way life is. It's abundant. And reality then bends around that knowing, around that abundance. And again, everybody has it, there'll be a theme of this channel is that everybody has it backwards. It's like when things go the way I want, when this goal I set or this manifestation I want, then I can feel abundant. And it's the exact opposite. When you feel and know you are already abundance, when you align with what you say you want, because it is already here, it is already possible, it is already a part of reality, then it bends to bring that into your universe, to bring that into your physical experience. And most of people think abundance is accumulation. They think, I've been guilty of this. It's like, how many things do I have? How much money do I have? How many cars do I have? How do I have all the latest gadgets? Do I have all these things that I think will make me happy, like I've said? And true abundance is the capacity to create anew at any moment and not just hoarding what you already have and trying to get more and more and more of that. That is not true abundance. And thinking about it this way, don't think of wealth or abundance as like this pile of gold that you keep trying to accumulate and get to be more and more. Hold that bank account or, those stocks or this retirement fund. I need it more and more and more and more. I need a bigger pile. Instead, start seeing abundance as an infinite spring, okay, that you drink from and that is never ending and that it's just always going to be there because that is the truth. And when you can really understand and feel and know this vibration and that belief factor, all those things, that spring will consistently flow in all the things you've always wanted. And guess what? If it doesn't happen in the time frame, it doesn't happen the exact way, it doesn't disappoint you because you're like, this is amazing. You feel amazing because you're in the vibration of that already. And you don't need the thing to go the way you want to feel better because you already feel amazing. Hear that, really hear that. There's a huge difference there. And basically to extend on that, it's the energy of abundance. And let's just do this metaphor. Let's give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Imagine abundance as like a river flowing that, it's just constantly flowing downstream, just naturally never ending, right? And what most people do, like I started this video, is they bottle up that flow of that river with fear. And it just constantly, there's buildup and there's trees and bushes and it becomes this dam that stops the flow because of that limiting, feelings, those limiting thinking, that belief of like, oh, this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen, all this garbage that we make up. And we're blocking the flow of that river. Our job, though, is to remove the dam. That's what this whole channel is about, is removing the blockage of the dam so we can just flow, okay? And what that looks like is a coherence with wealth. And when your thoughts and your emotions and your actions and everything that you are and how you live your life all adds up, then the money flows like a magnet. The abundance just flows to you unconditionally, unimaginably. And that's what we're trying to do is bring all of that together. And yeah, action, there's nothing wrong with action. It's like, hey, Gavin, I thought you said you're not working hard. I'm not talking about like working hard. I'm not talking about the scarcity mentality of I have to like just work my tail off. Is that the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the vibration, the frequency, and your actions all align and that dam is broken, right? So here's the thing. Poverty consciousness is the worship of limitation. Oh my gosh, that stunk. Oh, that didn't happen the way I want. Oh, it didn't happen in my timeline. Oh, like I wish it would be different from this. Oh, I wish it was easier. Like all these victim thoughts, right? And I'm like, I say this, I share this with you all as like, I'm not on this high horse. This morning I had some really interesting things. Oh, I wish this would go differently. Or why does that have to be so hard? So much of this channel I'm sharing with you is things that I struggle with and that I'm working through. And I can go hours and days of being in good flow. And then all of a sudden I can just drop off the track. But the difference is I realize that like, oh, I'm not feeling very good. Oh my gosh, I can tell some anxiety, some fear. Oh, look what I just said to my friend. I started complaining about something. I started saying, oh, that's not possible. I started getting involved in some negative thinking that was taking me down and blocking my river, right? So I bring this all up to remind us all this is what is going to change your abundance is that you've got to realize money is just this condensed agreement with the universe. And when your energy is very clear, when you know you are enough, when you're feeling whole, when you're in good vibration and frequency, then the reality of all of that agrees with you in the form of abundance, in the form of wealth, and a lot of times in a lot of different ways, money. And again, we love as humans to make it about wealth is money. But there's so many different ways it can come. And that's just one aspect of it. And everything is wealth. Everything is abundance. So what I want you to do is end this with a quick visualization exercise. Let's do this a little bit differently. First, I want you to right now, unless you're driving, come back and do this later, and you can pause this, see what the seconds are on this. But close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and I want you to really tap into the feeling of infinite wealth, of infinite abundance, and just how amazing that would feel. And this will be telling if that's not easy within a few breaths or like 20 to 40 to 50 seconds. If you can't get to that energy, we have a lot of work to do. That's the work. It's not the physical go do work. It is the physical get into connection as quickly as possible work. That's the game changer. And then I want you to, you feel pretty much as you can imagine, infinite wealth and abundance. I want you to feel like this amazing ray of light and sunshine shining on you. And that brings you just tremendous amount of peace. So really need you to get in that peaceful, light, expanding, and like your heart is just opening. You're expanding with the light. Light comes in, it's just expanding, 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 expanding. Until everything around you is just this expanse of light. And right now, at this moment, it shouldn't be focusing on like, oh, I want this, this, and this. You are that, that, and that. And the more you can understand that, the more you can really get this, watch what will happen. And I want you to see money as opportunities and resources that are attracted to you as this golden light blooms, as it grows, that it's just naturally drawn to you because you're recognizing that truth of that light and expansiveness within you. So as your river of light gets wider and you're letting go of all the dams blocking that light, you're allowing what is right here waiting for you to come in more and more and more. And this is your job, my friend. This is what I try to do as much as I can out today is let reality, what I'm talking about right now, the truth of who you really are, nothing needing to happen in this world, no getting out there, allowing within, and anchor the feeling, I'm the source of wealth. And wealth actually flows because I exist. I am wealth. What happens out there is me feeling it, seeing it, allowing it, because I'm the source of it. Distinction is everything. It's all a reflection of what's within here, what's within here. And this short little exercise, you can open your eyes now, is that remembrance. Is something you can do 2, 3, 10, 20 times a day. Let the light in, flow naturally. And all the other things are just going to become easier and easier. And you'll have this new set point that you're not just here. We're trying to get up here and operate from a higher level. I want to close on this. Wealth is not something you get. It's something that you remember you already are. It's not something you get. It's not something you work for. It's not something you have to do. It's something that you already are. Your job is to be wealth and allow. When you practice that on a daily basis, you're going to start seeing life get easier. You're going to start seeing more money flow to you, more abundance in all kinds of different ways. And you're going to feel like, what? What has changed so much? You've changed so much. Why are all these good things happening that you've always wanted but just seem like beyond your grasp? You're now letting them be possible. You're allowing them into your source. It's all there waiting for you right now. You just got to get on your own way. So I am going to be talking about raising your frequency so high that you can't really recognize yourself anymore. You can't recognize struggle anymore. That you completely leave behind all the things that have stopped you in the past. I'll be talking about in the next video. But I'd love to hear comments from you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I want to do this channel with you. I want to create a community. Tell me what you think. What questions do you have? Where do you struggle aligning? What struck a chord with you on this video that you're like, gosh, I could get better at that, or gosh, I didn't think of it that way, or maybe something you disagree with. Let's put it out there. I'm not here to argue. I'm here to grow and allow with you. So like, subscribe, hit the bell button, share it with your friends. I would greatly appreciate it. Looking to grow this channel to get this information out to as much people as possible. But remember, you are already wealth. You are the abundance. It's something that you are. It's not something you have to go do, right? Much love, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.